No second chances, no support, and nowhere to go but the finish line. Day and night, non-stop, racing the clock as much as they race themselves, across 4 continents and countless challenges. The ultimate prize is simply surviving. The journey, the tears, and the triumphs. Welcome to Wild Races. Switzerland now delivers the final chapter in her epic tale of adventure. The end is near, though not near enough for some. To reflect on the adventure so far is an impossibility when teams still face countless kilometres of brutal racing. Our athletes now make crucial decisions that will drastically affect the outcome of the race. In such an awe-inspiring arena, let's not be fooled. Tread carefully as not to falter so close to the end. Team Silver, with its renewed energy, has made up crucial time on the leaders, though our trailing teams take stock of the situation and focus purely on surviving. The 25-kilometre kayak lead continues as the weather turns, and many are forced to slow their progress and maintain a pace that will see them through to the shore.
Keeping it steady and looking after each other and getting through the course, really. If you never don't finish a race, it's a lot more than a lot of teams can say, that's for sure.
My thoughts are a bit stiff when I start again, but once you limber up and get moving, the pain goes away. We don't think about anyone except ourselves. We're here for a good time, here to enjoy the experience, here to keep focused on our team and what we're doing. We were a bit sore after the trek, but things seem to have come right over the mountain bike, so we'll try and dry our feet out a bit on the pedal, get the mad out a bit at the next break, and hopefully that'll be right for the rest of the course.
Paddling's the worst of it all. I know you just get into that, gentle rhythm and the water lapping on the boat, and it just sends you off. You haven't slept for 2 days, so we'll see. I'm sure we'll be right.
The next 110 kilometres covers some of the most brutally testing terrain yet consumed on mountain bikes. After relentless hours of forcing the mind to control the body, the challenge becomes even greater. Then we face the chill and anger of the whitewater.
I think one problem is when it's dark and you get a bit dizzy in your head after a few days of racing. It's quite hard to just read the map actually. And if you're low on energy, it's even harder. Sometimes you just have to push and then try to read the map at the same time. It's quite hard.
This race, quite much time is spent in quite high altitude. It's not super high, but it's still alpine, which means that if the weather turns bad, you're in a very exposed place. We actually carried more clothing than what was mandatory. If the storm comes when we're in the wrong spot, we might get serious trouble otherwise.
With the weather continuing to worsen, there is no stopping our teams in their quest to push through incredible pain barriers.
Conditions this year were so tough. Weather-wise, also a real challenge, both for the competitors. Things have been flowing well to, get in a race of this magnitude and of this, the length of the race that we needed to be 3-4 days. And in this area, which is relatively small, they did almost 18,000 meters. Yeah, that hurts.
You know what? My feet are doing pretty good now. They weren't very well before, but I've kept dry all night, like on the bike, and I'm honestly they feel fine.
We haven't slept anything yet, so hopefully we'll get a couple of hours anyway. That's the goal. I have a problem with my feet down under. The doctor maybe could look at them before I leave in from here. Like running on a nail carpet, I would call it.
A little bit cold, but it's okay. Yeah. Putting on some dry clothes now. I feel right now I'm a bit sore up here in the neck from the paddling and carrying the backpack, but otherwise I'm fine. Feet and everything is wet, of course, but it doesn't hurt anyway, so that's fine.
Teams now ready themselves for a quickening of pace and frigid alpine waters.
We were pretty close to a major up in the boat. We got stuck on a rock and almost flipped, but the guide solved the situation, so we all wanted to drop a few minutes. And for a moment I think all four of us are feeling pretty good.
Further back, a small taste of the elevation our teams are facing.
Little setting, girls on top. Got a checkpoint down there. Sprawling out, feeding up, rehydrating, blocking the road, capturing some view. Right, this is what Stefan does. He says, go to the bottom of the valley, which is 2,000 metres below, and go up to the peak on the other side. So that's where we're going. And then he tells us to come back and do it again. Which is zigzag from 2,000 metres to 0 to 2,000 metres.
As night falls, all the chasing teams face the brutality of the climbs in pitch black and sleeting rain. They have come so far, but still have so far to go. The final leg is an astonishingly difficult 70 kilometres of trekking through some of the region's most challenging terrain. For many, it is the last hurdle to what has been a truly unforgiving adventure, though it is an epic finale to a staggering journey for all of our teams.
Worst night sleep monsters I've ever had in my life. Barely remember last night at all.
It's going great. Actually, we did this section, this part of the road in the night. I almost don't recognize it.
I think we were pretty lucky. We got some rain, but not bad at all actually. We had to put down the jackets on the big downhill, but we were lucky, I think. And for a moment, I think all four of us are feeling pretty good. We ate a lot, we got some extra sleep, so we're gonna try to go fast all the way now. Fast and smart.
Yeah, my stomach will go a little bit up and down. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but I think it's okay, I can eat. So it's okay. My legs are fine, so that's the most important thing, I think. New day, new possibilities. So it's just to carry on.
It's hard for the legs. That's what we have expected. So we'll stick to the game plan. We have like between 24 and 30 hours of racing left. And we're going to do all we can to chase the leaders.
If we were to make something easy, they wouldn't appreciate it as much. This is supposed to be a real challenge. It's supposed to be a journey, an expedition, and just something that you can be proud of when you think back of it. You remember all the good feelings and all the amazing sensations that you get from the nature, and sharing these the challenges with your teammates. I think for me and for most teams, it's one of the best experiences that you do this together as a team, and you share the good times and the bad times, and looking back and just with a real sense of pride of what you've actually accomplished. I think that's why many teams actually keep racing, even though it hurts a lot.
And then the finale to the extraordinary race.
The first who starts to sleep, like Silva and us, because we know that they're very close. The first who sleeps is losing.
Last year we got second, and when I put the team together and asked my friends, I said right away that we will try to go for the win. We have the best navigator in the team, and that was probably what made it.
Silva is very, very good and very professional team, and till the last minute we thought, oh, they're coming behind us and they're sitting behind the bushes because we didn't know how far they are behind us.
I think we might see the light under the clouds. We're pretty close to the finish. We're pretty happy about getting to the finish. We don't really know what position we're going to finish at. We are second or third. All team members really sorry. Over there is the finish line. It looks like we ended up in second place after all. Yeah, pretty good.
This is probably one of the most beautiful places on Earth.
When you do a race in 3 days, you can see as much as one person is on holiday for 1 month. That's one of the reasons why I think adventure racing is so special.
I think it's like a power boost. You start to feel pretty strong. I mean, even though you're suffering a lot, you still can realize, if you're looking way, way ahead, you see this big mountain ridge, and then you realize 12 hours later you just crossed it. It's quite an amazing journey.
You keep the good memories, you keep the views, and you forget about the pain you had in your feet and knees.
Quite a big part of it is that's the competitive thing. If I didn't like to compete, I would probably not take the suffering. When you have a good finish, it's a fantastic feeling within your team.
Yeah, we lost the speed when the rain started, and maybe half an hour or something we get really slow, and then we pick up the speed again and try to focus on get to finish.
And under the cover of darkness, they complete their journey. There are no victors, only survivors, and throughout the day, our teams finally see the finish ahead.
On the race in a sleep-deprived last leg stage.
Thoughts on the race? Wow, it's been a biggie. Brutal. Some parts look amazingly mind-blowing, particularly beautiful. Yeah, all in all, when it's a really good time.
These girls are solid, and they've never not finished races, and got a good record behind them like that. So it's never a question.
I've done sort of mentally more challenging ones, but physically this is probably the hardest. Yeah, the brutality of the climbs. And, one of the most stunning. Like, it was really a magic race.
The best mountain ranges I've ever seen in the world. This is fantastic. Brutally hard. I mean, it was just straight up to the highest point and straight down to the lowest point.
Just travelling in a place like this, seeing all those things that we saw out there, and even if you came to have a holiday here, you wouldn't have seen half of the things we saw. So it's just amazing country.
It's it, just takes us places you wouldn't get to, and that's why you do the sport.
Brutal on your legs, brutal on your feet, and brutal on your brain.
It's not going to be all easy, but the fact is that we all committed to doing the race and having that goal in front of us, to get to the finish line, no matter what, and in spite of whatever difficulties we'll face, and always looking to the positive side of things, like the fact that friends are willing to put up with each other, to help each other, and moreover to overcome difficulties together.
We came up with an analogy like Singaporean team in this kind of adventure race is like
Jamaican bobsled team.
But ultimately that's why we're here, because this is something that we don't get where we live.
I love traveling, I love sport. Expedition adventure racing is kind of just travel and on steroids. Everything just gets bottled up into this complete package, and you just take this one pill and like you've got a massive holiday.
Oh, it's a hard race, really challenging course, I think. But you know, with good friends, you know, you can do a lot of things.
This country, above many other countries, just reminds you how awesome the outdoors can be.
By tail's end, all our teams of adventurers found their way to the end of this epic journey. Despite the massive task that they faced and the insurmountable odds, all were victors in their own way. From the outset, the Swiss Alps promised an adventure of epic scale. Quite simply, it delivered. All that entered this journey survived in a way they never believed was possible and experienced a true test that only nature can deliver. This is Wild Races, and many will return again.